Hi everybody, it's now time to get more analytical, away from the din of the markets which we had the whole week. In this show, Under the Lens, what I try and do is, I go deeper into some of the important issues that you and I face. The idea is for you to get an in-depth knowledge of the same headlines and stories that you've been reading, more in-depth knowledge rather than a cursory knowledge. And today, I'll be looking at a very important angle, the economic and corporate angle of the scams which are hitting us almost daily in the papers, in the business magazines, in the TV channels. So sit back, put your feet up and enjoy the show. Remember as always that you have your section 2 at the end where you pose your questions to me on what we have talked about. For that, all you need to do is to get onto your email and send your questions to underthelens@utvmoney.com. Okay, we have a long list of scams and let's go ahead. Friends, over the last 20 years, the perception in India was that with the reforms, with the removal of controls, we will have more transparency, more governance, and less loot and scams. Because before the economy was opened up, not that we didn't have scams, but these scams were almost always confined to giving import licenses, giving industrial licenses, giving approvals, etc. because the government called all the shots. Now it's a market-driven economy. But it appears as if the ingenuity of the human mind being what it is, we've gone on to a different type of scams, and that of a much, much bigger scale. Let's get on to our first scam, the 2G scam. Now, what is the 2G scam? The 2G scam happened because the government sold away waves, airwaves called the spectrum to companies for a song. And according to the CAG, the government lost 1,70,000 crores in the process. That's about 14 zeros, if you don't mind, 14 zeros. It goes off your calculator. This is the loss to the people of India. And who gained? The people who gained were obviously government servants and the corporate sector. So here was people of India, we had a right to sell that to corporates through an auction as we did in 3G, but we just gave it away for a song, and this is what it cost us. Now, let's come to another scam also happening in and around Delhi, the Commonwealth Games scam. What was this scam? This scam was a rather old-fashioned variety. Inflated contracts, inflated bills, what was supposed to have cost 10,000 crores or far less if you look at the way the Chinese are conducting the Asian Games. But it ended up, according to reports, for about 70,000 crores. 70,000 crores on a 2-week sporting event, if you don't mind. Mind-boggling, isn't it? The winners, again government servants and petty contractors, maybe thousands of them, who made money. The losers, again, you and me. The story doesn't end there. I won't bore you, but I'll give you just one more scam. All this happened the last 12 months. I'm not talking about history. The Koda scam. This happened not in Delhi, but in Jharkhand, which is a very mineral-rich state. There, mining leases, as you know, the nature of the scam was, mining leases which the government had were given away to the corporate sector. And let's not forget, Jharkhand is one of the most backward states of this country, where we have a Naxalite problem purely because of lack of investment and development. And here is this government under Koda throwing away 40,000 crores of mining leases to line up their own pockets. This, incidentally, is 20% of the budget of Jharkhand. So they picked up 20% of Jharkhand and put it on a platter and gave it to somebody else. The losers, you and me again. The winners, corporates and government servants. So the story goes on and on and on. Well, friends, let's just try to put it in proper dimension, the economic angle of this. All this money, because there's all those zeros going around, you may just lose your balance. For example, if these scams had not been there and we had decent, fair, transparent people running the show, we would have built all the schools necessary, primary schools necessary in this country, in every village. Yes, period. To just put it into another way, the taxes that you and I pay, it's about 1/3 of the value of the scam. In a year, the taxes that you and I pay. The entire disinvestment story, Coal India, NTPC, we keep talking about all these things. All that put together is 40,000 crores. So 5 times that, 6 times that if you took 2G and CWG alone. So here we are talking about a material difference to the government's economy, to the people. Things would have been much better off for you and me without these scams. Friends, let's compare how India is ranked among corrupt nations. And this is not this year, last several years. We are way down in decent government, way down in decency of government. And we are, countries like even China are much better off. So, last but not the least, the point is, who are the corporates who benefited and how did the market take it? If you look at the market, Reliance Communication and Unitech, who got these licenses, their shares have crashed. So at least we, the investors, have ensured that these groups which got licenses got hit hard in the stock market. Friends, that's a scam-filled session. We'll take a break at this point. And remember, if you have any queries or have opinions to share, you can directly put in your questions to us. All you need to do is to just email underthelens@utvmoney.com. And our special guest for today, after the break, we will have Mr. Rajiv Bajaj, Managing Director of the Delhi-based firm Bajaj Capital Limited. And with him, we'll be talking about art as an asset class.